Hello, Nigeria. I am Becky Madujemu, and with love, I welcome you to Newsline. February is the month of love. On the 14th is the climax because it's Valentine's Day. We have a special on how people who love to love intend to spend the day or maybe not observe it at all. Now, there's this popular saying, quote, never underestimate the strength of a woman, unquote. What is that strength and why is she still considered the weakest sex by definition? That feature will get you thinking differently, I promise. Then there's the issue of child abuse. Those adults who make the existence of children a miserable experience must be held accountable. Ways to make them pay for their despicable behavior will be explored. Meanwhile, among several places of interest, we will visit the settlement that has become home to our people who once lived in Bakassi Peninsula. There's so much ahead of us, and we must keep it going quickly. The news comes up right now with Runke Kolawole. Take it away, Runke.
Thank you, Becky, and welcome to the news. Agronomists and researchers have commended the steps taken by President Muhammadu Buhari towards moving Nigeria out of food import countries and pushing the country to be self-sufficient in rice and wheat. Agronomists and government officials in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, who commended Nigeria, also say Ethiopia is to ban importation of wheat in the next 24 months. Musa Baba Aliyu from Addis Ababa fired in this report.
Rice, wheat and maize are the three most consumed food crops in Africa. The demand for these crops is on the increase due to population growth and changes in consumers' preferences. It is as a result of these that African countries are spending about $50 billion annually importing rice, wheat and maize to meet the demand of the population. At Agriculture Research Institute in Addis Ababa, I met Dr. Adunya Wakira, a crop scientist who says African countries have no reason importing rice and wheat.
We have to be self-sufficient. We have the soil, we have the water, we have the labor, and the means why we import wheat, why we import rice. We have to prioritize our commodities.
As he emphasized the need for improved trade collaboration within Africa, Nigerian ambassador to Ethiopia said Nigeria is taking the lead.
We are talking of now what is called the Continental Free Trade Area. We are moving towards free movement of persons on the continent, and this will make Africa closer. A prosperous, a united, and integrated Africa is to the benefit of Nigeria.
To this end, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Kenya, Sudan, and Mali are some of the African countries that are taking steps to boost their local production to be self-sufficient. From Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
With Kogi State government set to pioneer the federal government proposed cattle colonies and ranches, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has entered an agreement with the state. The agreement was reached when Chief Audu Ogbe hosted Governor Yahaya Bello at the Agric Ministry's headquarters in Abuja. Kunle Adeyeye was there.
Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development says the federal government's intention on the cattle colonies is to help restore peace and end unwanted killings being experienced in some parts of the country. With the belief that agriculture is key to the quest for diversification of the country's economy, Chief Audu Ogbe applauded the government of Kogi State for showing interest in the initiative.
Dangerous trend. If we don't contain the situation, the conflicts will not stop. And how many more deaths do we want? Is it worth one person's life that we are disorganized and unable to arrange and sort out a problem which confronts our country? So I thank you for your courage. And I want to say to you that you will see us there.
He said that cattle business is currently contributing about 6% to the country's GDP. Governor Yahaya Bello remarked that his administration will continue to embrace all initiatives that will aid agricultural development and youth empowerment.
We are willing and ready to pilot the program in Kogi State, and as such, our people have been well sensitized and well educated about what this program is all about.
The governor presented a letter which contains details of the proposal to the minister. In Abuja, Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
In the meantime, the federal government has again clarified that it has no intention to forcefully acquire land from any state for the creation of cattle colonies. Special advisor to the President on National Assembly Matters, Senator Ita Enang, also listed the achievements of President Buhari in the last 2 years at the meeting of the National Committee of Buhari Support Group in Port Harcourt. Onegie Fineface reports.
South Zonal Office of the National Committee of Buhari Support Groups will be a rallying point to propagate the change mantra and agenda of President Muhammadu Buhari in the region. Senator Ita Enang reminded supporters of the vision of the president that in only a few years, the APC-led federal government has eased the country out of recession, raised its foreign profile reserves and earnings, while embarking on massive infrastructural development projects across the nation. The current administration, he said, has broken even in creating millions of jobs through investments in agriculture and manufacturing. With the opening of this office, an economic and empowerment initiative has been rolled out to support micro, small and medium-scale enterprises for 200 women and youth in the first phase.
As part of our contributions to show the goodwill of the president and appreciate Nigerians for the goodwill, we will make this contribution to the people of the South-South. This is just for the South-South zone. We will be going to the southeast, southwest, north central, northwest, and northeast.
Members of President Buhari support groups in the zone were also tasked to continue preaching the change agenda of the president to all parts of the region. In Port Harcourt, Onegie Fineface, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to consolidate on the gains recorded by the All Progressive Congress APC-led administration since 2015. He restated this through his senior special advisor on political matters, Samani Gideon, during a mega rally to convert support for his re-election. Tessie Coker reports that the rally was organized by APC Stakeholders Forum and the National Committee of Buhari Support Group in Ughelli, Delta State.
The senior special advisor to the president on political matters, Samani Gideon, solicited the cooperation of all Nigerians towards the re-election of President Buhari.
Our president has all the credentials. People have been making clarion calls for him to come for the second term. Your president who has been giving himself for service, sacrifice for service.
Some stakeholders drawn from the All Progressive Congress and the National Committee of Buhari Support Group lauded the just stride of President Buhari's administration as they enjoined all Deltans to support the change mantra.
Go and register and urge others to register. That is the key for APC to take over. Do not neglect registration. Anybody above 18 is entitled to register.
Others used the opportunity to call on Nigerians to preach peace that will engender unity in the country. Tessie Coker, NTA News.
Attaining cultural, political and regional unity of the North and creating a suitable platform for the region to attain a functional political alliance with the South was the focus of Northern elders and stakeholders as they converged on Abuja to discuss pressing national issues. Justin Bem-Onyi reports that leaders of the North from all walks of life charged elites of the region to stand up in unity.
Northern leaders and major stakeholders had the conversation to deliberate on the best way forward for the region, with objectives to review general security in the North and proffer viable solution and to appraise the current state of politics in the region in relation to the unfolding national political dynamics. They stressed the need for a deliberate functional unity to take common front in taking political decisions as the 2019 election approaches.
We need to establish our unity and guard our identity as a region and evolve a strategy to achieve development, harmony, and peaceful coexistence.
Stakeholders were enjoined to change their profile and desist from paying lip services and double standards to ensure a functional northern region.
The North seems to be lagging behind in several key indicators of development. And with the pool of talent in the north, it would pay if northerners would come, bring out the issues that bedevil the north, and then profile solutions.
We have found it necessary to bring back that unity, which we really need. We're in dire need of unity in the north, and to do away with religion and other problems that we had.
After due conversation, the meeting recommended to set up 5 subcommittees to address various issues challenging the northern region. In Abuja, Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
All is now set for digital switchover in Enugu on Monday by Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed. Judah Bogu, who monitored the preparations for the epoch-making event, says finishing touches are being put in place by staff of different divisions.
Here is the ITS monitoring room where preparations are targeted for tomorrow's transition from analog to digital transmission taking place in Enugu.
The General Manager, Integration Television Services, Mr. Rotimi Salami, said all the required technical works for the digital transmission have been long completed. He highlighted the benefits of the ITS digital platform to include affordability of the set-top box, clear pictures, and varieties of the contents.
What we are just doing here right now is preparation for the ceremony. The platform has been on since December. We've been transmitting, and those who are opportune to have the set-top boxes have been viewing from our platform all the services on the free TV.
The Zonal Director of NTA Network Center, Mr. Liam, said the people of the state are excited over the digital switchover.
The entire staff are excited to be on the same platform with other zonal centers that, of course, has migrated. And you see level of preparation, the engineers are here.
The ITS digital services, which has been on test run in the state since December last year, is expected to offer about 30 channels to its subscribers in Enugu and its environs.
It is just a matter of hours from now that the much expected digital switchover will take place here in the city of Enugu, NTA News.
And to other news. Rivers State Saturday became the meeting point of the cream of Nigeria's politics as leaders from different political parties converged on Port Harcourt to thank God for the victory of APC legislators from the state. Onegie Fine-Face reports that Senate President Bukola Saraki, a governor of Rivers State, and his counterpart from Imo were present.
Led by Senator Magnus Abi, Rivers State lawmakers in the National and State Assemblies from the APC danced in thanksgiving to God for victory.
The spirit of the anointing came, descending upon Senator Abi.
Now is the time to put the interest of Rivers State ahead of everything else. And we must all cool it down and work together.
Port Harcourt Polo Club, the reception venue, became a carnival site of a sort as political leaders, including former governors, serving members of the National Assembly, ministers, and even the executive governor of the state gathered to celebrate their son and brother, Senator Magnus Abi.
I believe it stands a good chance of being the governor of the state, of being the flag bearer of the party.
When we come together, all we should preach is how Rivers State to be #1 state.
This will show you the love, the acceptability of the candidate of distinguished Senator Magnus Abi. I find him very amiable, very humble, very articulate.
He has a very, very great future in Nigeria and indeed in Rivers State.
Cultural troops added musical spice to the carnival-like gathering. In Port Harcourt, Onegie Fine-Face, NTA News.
And talking security now, the police have arrested 92 suspects and recovered a firearm as well as weed suspected to be Indian hemp at the Arts and Crafts Village located at the permanent site of the National Council of Arts and Culture. The raid and arrest carried out by the Anti-Robbery Squad of the FCT following intelligence reports which indicated that criminal elements terrorizing the residents of the FCT used the permanent site of the council as hideout. The police, however, say investigations are still ongoing, and the suspect who are found innocent of any wrongdoings will be released. Residents of the FCT who reacted to the development commended the police for its effort to rid the art and craft village of criminals hiding under the guise of selling artworks to perpetrate crimes. The police say the operation is part of efforts to fight crime and reduce the spate of armed robbery, car snatching, kidnapping, and other unwholesome activities in the FCT. And now sports. Plateau United Football Club in flying start in CAF Champions League as Akwa Ibom State gets reward for contributing to sports development. Amanzi Marcus has that report.
Niger Tornadoes claimed the 3 points in Lokoja against Nasarawa United in a Week 8 Nigeria Professional Football League match played on Sunday.
This could be it. Look at that. It's a goal, I tell you. Beautiful one.
Sunshine Stars and Kano Pillars played goalies, while Kwara United are gradually returning to winning ways with a 2-1 victory over Katsina United. In a related development, Plateau United Football Club defeated Eden FC of Cameroon 3-0 in the preliminary round of the CAF Champions League played in Jos. In the CAF Confederations Cup, Akwa United lost 1-2 to Banjul Hawks at the Goswell Apabio International Stadium, Uyo. Meanwhile, Egypt are leading in the medal table at the African Wrestling Championship in Port Harcourt as at press time on Sunday. They have 18 gold, 12 silver and 3 bronze medals. Hosts Nigeria are second with a total of 50 medals comprising 16 gold, 18 silver and 16 bronze medals. Nigeria consolidated on her second position on Saturday by winning 5 gold medals. A private sports concern and the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development have presented 3 awards to the Akwa Ibom State government for contributing to Nigeria's qualification to the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia and for having Best Supporters Club and for being the best in sports infrastructure.
There's no government alone that can drive sports development. We must have partnership from the private sector.
The ministry's Director of Planning, Hawakulu Akinyemi, presented the awards to the Akwa Ibom State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Charles Udo, who described the awards as a motivation to do more, while revealing that Governor Udom Emmanuel of Akwa Ibom State is building a second stadium to have artificial turf in addition to constructing 10 sports centers across the state. With Sports Update, Amanzi Marcus, NTA News.
The death has been announced of a chieftain of the APC and one-time Minister of Internal Affairs, Brigadier General John Shagaya. He died today in a ghastly motor accident on his way to Jos from Langtan in Plateau State. His eldest son, Colonel Nansak Shagaya, confirmed the incident to NTA News. Until his death, General Shagaya was a founding member of the governing National Party APC, and also the pioneer chairman of the party in Plateau State. He was appointed chairman of the governing board of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru, by President Muhammadu Buhari in December last year. He held various positions in government and the military, including General Officer Commanding 1st Mechanized Division Kaduna, ECOMOG Commander in Liberia, and longest serving Minister of Internal Affairs under General Ibrahim Babangida's administration. The FRSC in a statement says his 2 injured aides are currently receiving treatment at Panshin General Hospital. While President Muhammadu Buhari has profoundly expressed sadness over the tragic incident that took the life of Senator John Shagaya. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the President offers his heartfelt condolences to the Shagaya family, friends, the government and people of Plateau State on the painful passing of their illustrious son. President Buhari also paid tribute to the great Nigerian whose legacies will live on in the patriotic work he did as a military officer who rose to the position of a general and a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic that ably represented the Plateau Southern Zone. President Buhari prays that God Almighty will comfort all who mourn him and grant his soul eternal rest. The third-day prayer for the late father of Nigeria's Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Yusuf Tukur Buratai, took place this morning in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. President Muhammadu Buhari was represented by his Chief of Staff, Abba Kyari. Abubakar Mohammed Musa reports.
Dignitaries that attended the third-day prayer for late Alhaji Yusuf Buratai are the Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima, top military and paramilitary officers serving in Borno and beyond, as well as traditional rulers within and outside the state, among other key figures. Conveying President Muhammadu Buhari's deepest condolences to Nigeria's Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, and the entire family, the Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, recalled with nostalgia the contributions of late Alhaji Yusuf Buratai to the nation's development, as he was among the gallant Nigerian soldiers that fought during the Second World War. He prayed God to grant the deceased eternal rest and the Buratai family the fortitude to bear the loss. Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima had expressed appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for identifying with the government and people of Borno over the demise of late Yusuf Buratai. Nigeria's Governors Forum, represented by its chairman, the Zamfara State Governor Abdulaziz Yari, alongside the Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, have also commiserated with the security chief, where they urged him to take solace in God. Meanwhile, the Assistant Director of Finance, NTA Maiduguri Zonal Network Center, Ishaya Hanania Uba, who represented the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, has led management of the center to condole the Chief of Army Staff over the demise of his father. Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai had thanked management of the NTA for commiserating with the bereaved family. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Mohammed Musa, NTA News.
Also, the death has been announced of Pa Adetunji Onadepo, who died on Friday, February 2nd, 2018. Born on 2nd December 1934 at ACA, Kwara State, Pa Onadepo started his educational pursuit at the St. Michael's Anglican Primary School, ACA, Ibadan Boys High School for his secondary school, which he completed in 1954. Before proceeding to University of Ibadan in 1961, he served in various capacities as a permanent secretary and director general in Kwara State Civil Service. Pa Nathaniel Adetunji Onadepo is survived by his wife, children, and relations. Burial arrangements will be announced by the family. Before we go, a quick look at the weather forecast for Monday. And that ends the news from Abuja. Newsline will be with Becky after the commercial messages in Lagos Network Center. Join us again.
Thanks for staying on the line. There is a place in Nasarawa State called Local London. In that place, there is a river port community that has been in existence for over a century. The river port, according to history, was founded by 7 like-minded merchants, and it was one of the preferred destinations of Nigeria's last Governor General under the colonial rule, Sir Frederick Lugard. History has it that Local London was a vibrant center for trade. Now, during the week, Abubakar Usman Akwanga in Lafia went to this historic community. He saw the relics that remind the inhabitants of their past, and after taking a tour of this colonial settlement, is set to tell the story.
On face value, local community located on the bank of River Benue is just like any hinterland agricultural settlement. But it is beyond this perspective, just like the history of Lokoja in the times of Lord Lugard. Loko was an outpost of the British colonial administration and stopover sales station.
There is an inscription on this monument. I was told in those days was used in bathing ships.
All the northern traditional rulers, if they want to see Lugard at that time, they travel to Loco.
Loco London was also a vibrant commercial nerve center with traders from far and wide. The people are eager to take you back in history. Some of the monuments and relics still standing and strong is a reminder. The community is very proud with the name Loco London, which is not by accident. It is to underscore the combination of the British settlement, military might, and lifestyle.
Way back when transactions in British currency was not accepted in Nigeria, here in Loco, we were still using it just like it was in London. And so people who come here on trade described our behavior as those of Londoners.
It is more evident here at the grave of a fallen hero with the royal crest of England. He was buried in 1915.
People still come here. Some white men came here last year to see the grave and ask questions.
In another location, though without its unique features, the story is told it was a barracks. If what is in a name is anything to go by, Loco London may one day live its dream, as development is gradually reaching the community with ongoing construction of 75-kilometer road and a way-to bridge of 4 kilometers crossing the river Benue.
With the coming of Buhari, the work is moving very faster than before.
The feeling on a speedboat ride towards the bridge is a sight to behold.
Quite adventurous, a journey to remember on the Benue River.
One important takeaway as the NTA crew departs Loco London is preserving what is left of the historical relics of this once vibrant river port community of Nasarawa State.
Going back in time is always a rewarding experience, wouldn't you say? From Nasarawa, we move to Benue State, where former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Farida Waziri, called for more intelligence gathering by security agents to detect and address the security challenges facing the nation. This was when she visited Benue State to commiserate with the state government and its people on the Benue killings and to donate relief materials to internally displaced persons in Camp 1, Guma local government area of the state. She was accompanied by wife of the state governor. Take a look.
Mrs. Farida Waziri is amongst the well-spirited Nigerians that have come to the aid of the victims of the attacks by the suspected herdsmen, which left over 70 persons dead on New Year Day in Benue State. Moved by the pain of the internally displaced persons, the former EFCC boss donated relief materials to cushion their sufferings.
We want to appeal to good Nigerian people. We must be our brother's keeper. We want to appeal to them to let God touch them. Look at the plight of these innocent women and children and donate anything you can. In fact, anything, nothing is too small. These people lost their beloved ones. They buried them beginning of the year, and their homes were burnt, and they are here. The children can't go to school. The newborn mothers, they were traumatized to have babies. They can't even feed them because there's no breast milk.
She called for more effective intelligence gathering by security agents to avoid further attacks in the area and other parts of the country. Mrs. Farida Waziri called on the state government to ensure equity and fairness in the distribution of the materials. Wife of the Benue State Governor, Dr. Eunice Otom, commended the former EFCC boss for the show of love for the vulnerable people, assuring them that the items will be distributed accordingly.
And I also wish to use this platform to encourage well-spirited people out there, just like our dear daughter of the soil has done with her lovely friends. I want to ask for support from well-meaning Nigerians who are out there and can support our loved ones at these difficult and challenging times in their lives.
Victims of the attack thanked Mrs. Farida Waziri for the gesture and prayed for God's divine blessings upon her. They called on government at all levels to address the security challenges without further delay to enable them return to their communities.
Yes, government alone cannot cater to the IDPs. Individuals can emulate that gesture. From one set of internally displaced persons to another, these ones are the Nigerians affected when the Bakassi Peninsula was ceded to the Republic of Cameroon by the International Court of Justice at The Hague. Their land was suddenly taken away from them, and they were likened to people internally displaced. But government promptly provided them with a place to build their community and continue with their way of life. Now, Imo Etem Udo paid them a visit and told us about it.
Immediately, sudden relocation of people from the environment comes with diverse challenges, especially when such relocation is forcefully done. That was the situation of most Nigerians who were residents at Bakassi Peninsula but had to quit owing to the transfer of ownership of the peninsula from Nigeria to Cameroon. They left Bakassi like fish taken out of water, but since there is water everywhere, they recongregated at Mbolugu government area in Akwa Ibom State and rekindled their lifestyle on and offshore behind the overflowing sea. But life has not remained the same for the returnees in their new and strange land.
We lose our boats and we run away and leave some of our boat there.
When we came here, there's a hall here, a big, what they call it, a community hall, where we stay. Later, storm come and the building collapse. So nowhere to gather. You can see as you come, you see us hiding in one corner there. There's no place for us to live.
They lament the activities of pirates, lack of fishing materials, and redundancy that has continued to give rise to hunger and hardship.
And what pains us most now is the activities of those called militants in Cross River. They had in a certain bush in a Cross River there. When it is around 6:30 to 7 o'clock p.m., they will come to Brahma here. There they will stay till 4 o'clock in the morning. And anybody passing there, they seize your engine, carry the engine. When they carry it, that is the end.
Curiously, the returnees prefer to hang around the sea with poor accommodation rather than embracing a facility provided for them by the government.
They like this area because they are close to the water.
Because this is what we know, and this is our handwork. You understand? This is what we learn. This is what we were brought up with. Understand? So to live here, it seems as if we are going to punish ourselves.
But for the fact that they prefer staying close to the water, trading and doing their petty businesses. So they come in here not regularly, but this is their permanent structure.
Hoping that their hopes will not be dashed or washed away like leaves by the river banks, the returnees should be catered for so that they can also take care of the daily seafood needs of the society.
The returnees have revealed their travails and, fingers crossed, their problems would be addressed. Moving on, the people of Kaltungo in Gombe State are very traditional in their ways and guard their cultural heritage jealously. It is no wonder that if one is looking for a culture in Nigeria that has resisted adulteration as a result of globalization, it would be found in the Emirate of Kaltungo. For more explanation, here is Emmanuel Akila.
This is a march of jealousy, not against anyone, but for the protection of what they hold in high esteem for generations past. They call it Panmana in their dialect, which means a house of stone. The ancient people of Kaltungo Kingdom found protection from the mountains that surround them. And because today's people still live in the same area, they have not lost sight of their environment and what the futures around meant to their forefathers. They set aside a day annually for a border patrol, and the best way to do this is to come out in their traditional dresses that remind them of why they are doing this.
Then we go through each of the villages surrounding this mountain, and we end up where we started at the palace down. With that, our children will know the history.
It is an 18-kilometer procession that begins from the palace of the Michael Tungu Salem Hamadu, usually on the eve of Christmas, deliberately fixed on that day to arouse the mood for the celebrations that would continue into the new year. It is not just about going round their border area to let the younger generation understand the cooperation their parents of yesteryears had with their neighbors against external aggression, but also showcase their cultural endowment to the world, which they are not willing to let go, and perhaps to turn it into economic gains. The monarch ride on horse to depict royalty and to exchange pleasantries with the locals.
Thanks for that entertaining cultural piece, Emmanuel. Now, women are called the weaker sex, but are they really? Maybe in terms of physical strength, they are weaker than men, but we all know that even the most chauvinistic of men will agree that women are the backbone of their homes and the society. Believe it or not, it's true. Now, this report about the Nigerian woman is by a man in our newsroom here in Lagos. Let's hear it from none other than Mohammed Abdulkadri.
In a world and country populated by females, it is not surprising that there appears to be divergent views as to who a Nigerian woman is.
A typical Nigerian woman, they are economic movers.
It seems women are more hardworking in Nigeria more than the men.
They are in integrity, they work hard.
To some men, a Nigerian woman loves her country with passion, just as she loves her baby and will never take up arms or indulge in hate speeches capable of destroying the country.
Nigerian woman is a reliable woman that knows the value of the children.
Any establishment that's headed by women, they're very energetic. They don't tolerate nonsense.
Some women say a Nigerian woman is hardworking, selfless, resilient, and resourceful in nation building, which justifies the slogan of no woman, no nation.
When women are out there struggling or doing something, either politics or what, we maintain the home.
Respondents described a Nigerian woman as the architect of good people, great nation, who make things happen positively and not negatively, making references to great women that this country has produced, including Queen Amina, Sausa, Fumilayo Ransome Kuti, Kudirat Abiola, and of course, women who resisted the obnoxious taxation by the colonialists.
And during the time of independence, Nigerian women have been very forthcoming. They have been active. They have never been passive.
You think about Dora Akunyili, late Dora Akunyili. She is a hero. She is my hero.
Although in the past, they've linked women with corruption in one sense or another. But right now, women have a say in the economy right now. Respondents say it is not in the character of a typical Nigerian woman to be unpatriotic, lazy, unproductive, and inhospitable. Patriotic Nigerian woman out there, keep doing great for your country. My prediction, expectation, and permutation is that one day in the near future, a Nigerian woman will emerge democratically elected president of this country. Yes, it's doable. They have done it in Liberia and in other climes. We can also do it in Nigeria. Great Nigerian woman, great.
I must add that the Nigerian woman is a gift to her family, the nation, and in fact, the continent. We are dependable, loyal, respectful, beautiful, intelligent, smart. I could go on and on, but we don't have enough time. When Newsline returns from this break, we'll be celebrating love. Yes, some got married, and it is a tradition to celebrate with those who are celebrating. Stay on the line. We'll be right back. Congrats to those who got pleasantly surprised by MTN. Next up, the two people whose marriage ceremony you're about to witness need no introduction. They are both on-air personalities in Africa's largest television network, the NTA. Their love for each other could not have ended in any way but marriage. They signed the dotted lines in Abuja, and Momso Damian Dati, who witnessed it, has packaged the exciting moment just for you.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stover.
A born broadcaster, natural presenter, a veteran, meticulous TV personality with an aura of intelligence. He is a prolific writer with a voice one can't resist and a name synonymous with NTA.
Now, talking about cultural renaissance,
she is a seasoned newscaster, a presenter, unassuming, amiable and gentle, a lady of class and style who rose through the ranks to become a notable face on NTA. Just like that, while on the job, the two fell in love, nurtured into maturity, and before you know what next, it's the wedding. All the way to Yola, Adamawa State Capital. The groom, his family, friends and a delegation from NTA, headed by the Director General, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, represented by the Director News, Aliu Baba Barrow, went to perform the traditional rites of claiming the bride.
I come to pick our wife.
Then back to Abuja. In the presence of family and friends, they headed to the marriage registry to exchange marital vows.
Elizabeth,
to be my lovely wedded wife.
To be my lovely wedded wife.
To love and cherish. Forsaking all other men.
Forsaking all other men.
Then to the reception venue, where elegance and style spiced with glamour. One after another, high-profile dignitaries took their seats to enjoy the moment.
Cyril and Elizabeth.
From the experienced elders came diverse recipes to spice up the union.
Made up their minds that they are suitable for each other. They have what it takes to be together. I have no doubt in my mind that they will make it.
What NTA has put together, with the agreement of God, nobody will put asunder.
If there are issues, sort it out within yourselves. Give yourself information. Communication is very important.
Immediately after the solemnization, reality comes to set in. And we have to have at that time the game of compromise, trust, and all the embodiment of marriage itself is trust.
There's an entrenched love and affection between the both of them. That's why it took them a long relationship to be sustained, to climax into what is happening today.
I wish them a wonderful married life.
May I go in prayers, and I wish them to go in prayer.
So for it to happen today is the greatest joy all of us have ever witnessed.
His level of intelligence, a very passionate person, very kind-hearted. I've really learnt a lot from him.
Very calm and level-headed person, very loyal friend, one that is reliable, and one who always puts other people first before her.
A total NTA wedding that was. Congratulations to Cyril and Elizabeth. May your home be blessed. It was a very colorful event in Abuja when Ambassador Mohammed Wali gave out his daughter Nusra in marriage to the man she loves. Laure Bala Hassan reports that the wedding fatia, which took place in Abuja, attracted people from all walks of life.
Fatiha was held at An-Nur Mosque in Abuja immediately after the Jumat prayers, and the sum of 50,000 naira was paid as dowry.
The wedding fatia is very unique because the bride, Nusra Wali, a former staff of NTA, witnessed the wedding, and this is not common. A reception and the traditional kamu had in attendance friends, relations, families and well-wishers who all expressed joy that the event is taking place.
I'm confident with Allah's support and assistance should be able to live with a family in a peaceful manner, and then also to continue with work, and then to bring up the family.
I advise that they should look at us, the mothers. We have lived a fulfilled life, and they are about to start a fulfilled relationship. They must work for it.
I urge them to live within the tenets of Islam, and inshallah they will succeed.
They just have to be patient. Our parents told us patient, and I think that word still stands till today.
You have to be holding patience. That is very, very difficult to do. Once you achieve patience, you get everything.
It actually began because of NTA. I was introduced to her by my friend who works in NTA.
Very excited and happy and thankful, very, very thankful that, we're here today and that everything has gone smoothly.
The colorful traditional event was spiced up with music.
Congratulations to the new couple. We wish you all the best. Still on Love Matters, in 3 days from today, it will be the 14th of February. And for all who care to know, love is being celebrated worldwide on this day. Yes, it's Valentine's Day. Curiously, some people go the extra mile to prepare for the day and celebrate it. So, what are going on in preparation for the Valentine's Day? Annie Daniels in the Lagos area is set to tell us as she reports on the origin of the day.
Shops across the metropolis are stocked up with colorful items that depict love. A trip to the popular Teju market revealed a beehive. On sighting the NTA crew, this trader could not stop calling for customers.
I used to sell during Valentine. I used to sell.
It comes once in a year, so whenever it comes, we will prepare for it.
Indeed, they are making brisk sales, especially white and red adorned clothes. But how many Nigerians know the origin of St. Valentine's Day?
They said Valentine is a celebration, something recent like that. One man died and people are celebrating about it.
And I can't precisely say, but all I know is all about love.
Well, if you must know, St. Valentine was a Roman Catholic priest who was imprisoned for performing weddings for those, especially soldiers, who were forbidden to marry. History also has it that while in prison, St. Valentine fell in love and healed the daughter of his jailer. Before his execution, St. Valentine wrote a letter and signed "Your Valentine as farewell." Respondents say earlier links were focused on sacrifice. Unfortunately, the day is now heavily commercialized and laden with unwholesome acts.
You will see young secondary school girls that are still being fed by their parents. They will be saying Val, 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 because from there they will be sleeping with men.
The face is tied to Christ himself, the love of God, who is the source of love, which made him even to die for humanity, which made Valentine to die for soldiers, that is for the cause of marriage, wedding, people and co, that is the law, a broker to die for them, the love. So husbands today should sacrifice for their wives. Wives also should sacrifice for their husbands.
This year's Valentine's Day falls on a Wednesday. So, how will these respondents celebrate the day?
Falling on a Ash Wednesday, 14th of this month, we say no, because of Lent. We are not celebrating it.
I'm going to work on that day because I used to work. I'm a salary earner.
I'll show love to my boyfriend, of course. I'll buy him gift, I'll go to his house, we'll go out, and then we'll come back and cook dinner.
Is that right?
Girls, young boys, again, they can celebrate Valentine, but not in the erotic way we have today. It should be, that is, a platonic kind of love.
Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, all of us, we are all Nigeria. Let us love ourselves for this month of February.
It's apt to wish you a happy Valentine's Day in advance, and make sure you spread the love, especially to the needy. Now, tell me, why would anyone steal another person's baby? We'll go to a community in Abia State where this is rampant. What is the law doing about it? Stay on the line. Glad to have you back. Fear has gripped residents, especially non-indigenous women of Nkpukpu Evula in Aza, a community in Abia State. We hear that for some time now, the dead of night, unknown people attack families and steal their very young children. This development has crippled business activities, and the people are now saying enough is enough. The women embarked on a street protest to draw attention to their plight, and here is their story as reported by Comfort Ayim.
Nkpukpu Evula in Aza Autonomous Community, Ugonabo Local Government Area, Abia State, about 3 kilometers from Aba main town. Non-indigens who do business in Aba zone choose to settle in the community to save costs. The story, however, changed in October 2017 as some of the non-indigens gradually abandoned their landed property and deserted the area due to repeated cases of child stealing, while others who are still there now live in fear due to crime wave. The last straw that broke the camel's back is a case in point which occurred on 30th January 2018 when unknown gunmen invaded a one-room apartment of a family of 6 and abducted 2 children, a breastfeeding baby and a 2-year-old child. You may be wondering what is going on here. Of course, this is actually the residence of one of the victims, Mrs. Agbai Igwe, whose 2 children, a year and 2, were stolen this Tuesday, which triggered the protest.
Them come by 3 o'clock in midnight. Them there too, which gone, and now 2 knives. They carry something, cover face, but you know cover all. Them tie me, carry my children.
We just arrived to the residence of the second victim, whose child was stolen in November 2017. With me is the landlord of the building. Mr. Uche Ijoma, could you please tell us why your tenants are packing away?
Yes, because some people come and carry his baby here.
Do you live here?
Yes, but my children and my wife, all of them, run away.
In an effort to be heard for government urgent attention, a self-effort to address the issue failed. The non-indigenous women were provoked to protest, which took them to NTA gate to register their grievances.
They will come at night and they will tie the owner of the house and the family, and they will steal their children out. We are helpless, and we are now playing to the government and to the public to come to our aid, or else all our children will be stolen from us.
The thing is the most painful thing that can ever happen to every woman.
We are just like they are goat. Whenever they want to do sacrifice, they will just come and take any of us.
The traditional ruler of the community, His Royal Highness, is a Godwin Wanganga, while addressing the aggrieved non-indigenous women, said he is aware of the incidences and feels their pains.
To make a case for establishment of a police station here, in fact, the DPO came here and said, you take me to the Commissioner of Police, so that something will be done. There'll be a presence of the army, or particularly the police here. Our boundaries here are porous. They can come from anywhere.
Meanwhile, efforts to get the security operatives for comment failed, as though investigation is ongoing for a possible way forward, as the case has been reported to the police.
They have every right to be alarmed, respect action from the law, and intend to update you when that happens. Now, talking about child abuse can never sound like a broken record. 1, children are vulnerable. 2, they are always at the mercy of the abuser, who usually is the adults their care is entrusted to. There is no crime against a child that is mild. And like you would hear in this report, child abuse is not only physical, there is also emotional abuse. Whichever way, it impacts negatively on the child. And the perpetrator, sometimes they face the wrath of the law. Other times, anyway, let's listen to Annie Daniels on this all-important issue.
Many people believe that a child is abused only when he is physically assaulted. But do you know that when you yell frequently at a child, threaten or ignore him as punishment is abuse?
Shouting abuses or curses on a child, God punish you, you are an idiot.
You will never be good in life. You will never grow to see your grandchildren, your own children.
The law also says it is abuse and a punishable offense when parents or the caretakers of children have very little or no physical contact, such as hugging with them. Available statistics show that the abuse starts before the child's 5th birthday and most often perpetrated by people closely related to the child.
Uncles, aunties. When an adult undresses before a child, it's an abuse. And most times, even parents do that.
Now, everyone must know that apart from beating, yelling at, or cursing a child, there are other ways a child can be abused.
When you manipulate any of the organs, that is the private organs, is abuse.
Simply because you want to claim to be father of a doctor, you force your child to do what he does not have, mental capacity and capability to do in the school. That is an abuse.
Listen to more.
Girl child is not supposed to sit on the lap of a man, no matter the man, be it uncle or relation.
What baffles most people is that in spite of widespread campaigns by non-governmental organizations and individuals, the trend seems unabated.
Children, when they are abused, they keep quiet. Some of the men or girls also that has perpetrated all this abuse, or some will harass them and threaten them that they will die if they should tell anybody.
So, how can child abuse be curbed?
Teach your child right morals. No, when you're sitting, close your legs. Don't let any uncle touch you here or there. The greatest thing is the law. If the law is catching up on them, the offenders, many other people won't like to venture into that.
Now you know what constitutes child abuse. So, whenever you wish to use the rod in order not to spoil the child, do so with love.
My own 2 cents on the issue is that we all must protect vulnerable children by not staying silent. Report any form of abuse observed in your immediate environment. Like we say here in Nigeria, it takes a village to raise a child. Now, to a serious matter that appears ordinary, and this matter is about living in the midst of people and not knowing exactly who they are and what they do for a living. The government says this is dangerous. The police say this is very dangerous. Do you know your neighbors? This is our question tonight. Elizabeth Awuga, who was deployed to seek answers, went further to find out how well people know their neighbors and expert advice on why people must know their neighbors.
How important is the need for people to know who their neighbors are that the government came up with the nationwide Know Your Neighbor campaign? There are some people who are wondering what the hue and cry is all about knowing one's neighbor. But those whose job it is to protect lives and property, fight and prevent crime, say it is not only important but also necessary to know your neighbor. Imohimi Edgar is the Lagos State Commissioner of Police.
The most important message which I have been taking across to Lagosians is that of Operation Know Your Neighbor. You will agree with me that in the past, knowing our neighbors was compulsory. We knew what our neighbors did for a living.
Armed with this information, I became curious to know how well people know their neighbors. You know your neighbor?
Who is my neighbor? I don't know my neighbor. I know my neighbor very well. I know my neighbor. We know her.
Why would anyone not want to know a neighbor?
No, I don't know my neighbor. My neighbor always disturbing me every time. Then they gossip about me.
Apart from being vital to security, knowing one's neighbor and being friendly with them will come in handy should a person need help in an emergency.
Or any problem. Maybe in the house, in the night, you may have any problem in the night, you need somebody to rescue you. And this is the only person that can rescue your neighbor.
Truth be told, people are suspicious of each other and believe that keeping to oneself and minding one's business is the best way to stay out of trouble and be safe.
The disadvantage of not knowing your neighbor is it keeps you isolated. You're on your own. Even when you're passing through some situations, you have nobody to share with because you're not close to your neighbor.
But truth be told again, there is no man who is an island. Knowing one's neighbors and being friendly with them have benefits.
It brings you closer to that neighbor. Two, you have an extended family. Because for me, I have this philosophy that who you are close to is your family at that point in time.
Your neighbors could be helpful in your time of need. And who knows, you could be saving the entire neighborhood from danger when you report to the appropriate authority your neighbor with a shady character.
That was an eye-opener. Now you have an urgent assignment on your hands. Go get acquainted with your neighbors for your own safety. So far, so good. We are running off nicely. Let's take the last break and come back for what's next. Stay on the line. Welcome back. Nigeria and China are two friends that are giants of their continents. Their excellent relationship is further strengthened by the fusion of the cultures of both countries. How? Adebola Brookslyn Sunday reports that it is through the use of Chinese animation with Nigerian elements, which was highlighted during the celebration of the Chinese Animation Festival in Abuja to mark the Chinese New Year. Let's turn to Adebola for the details.
You are not in China. These are Nigerians who have had some cultural exchange of the Chinese. Some of the children were made to paint their mask as others find their way into the bouncing castle. It was an opportunity for some of them to join the kiddies train to nowhere. Imagwe Mary is a graduate of physics electronics. Despite the fact that she is still seeking a job, she dedicated her time to teaching the children bead making.
Those ones that have done it, they are very happy doing it. After they feel they put it on their neck, you say, wow, you know, they'll just smile away. I don't take anything.
I'm holding the bracelet and I'm so excited. When people mix up with other countries, we could have get more fun and learn more about their country.
They're excited jumping here and there, so at least it's a different thing for them, different experience, knowing about a different culture.
General Manager NTA Knowledge, Bukola Da Silva, is optimistic that the event will serve as a springboard for her station, where children can view on Star Times Channel 359.
When you ask the Chinese people, for instance, each animal or anything they draw actually has its meaning. And so when children are inquisitive again, they can learn about the different animals that we have.
It is just like build a bridge for two countries, the animation industry, to work together, to push the industry, make it prosperous.
Every child was lucky to go home with one or more gift items. In the spirit of the new year, the Chinese delegation made donation of educational materials to pupils of LEA Primary School, Gishiri, where they were received with a rousing ovation. The week-long event was put together by 7 Chinese local animation companies.
It was fun to watch. Thanks for bringing it, Adebola. He was a teacher, a prolific writer, and a renowned journalist. He passed on at the age of 75, leaving a mark in the media industry. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachikun has the profile of the late media icon, Mamun Baba Ahmed, who died in Kaduna.
An kafa gwamnati sai muka fahimci cewa irin farfagandan da aka yi har aka kai ga nasara.
Late 74-year-old veteran journalist Mahmoud Baba Ahmed, in one of the recent political programs he produced in the Liberty Radio and Television Kaduna, The professional skills of the deceased started manifesting since his early days in the journalism practice at the Broadcasting Corporation of Northern Nigeria, Kaduna, in the early 70s. As a young reporter then, late Mahmoud Baba Ahmed was known for his unique wisdom in the reportage of political development, especially during the Second Republic, and the greater role he played in reporting conflict situations, notably among which was the Maitasine uprising in the 70s.
He's a very fearless journalist. I feel like everybody should feel who has lost somebody valuable.
A very good man, a veteran journalist, a father, everything.
Commitment to duty and discipline of the deceased, as well as leadership role of colleagues, earned him respect from far and near.
He's very hardworking. If you want to see his anger, then don't work, because he's very determined.
He loved his job and he did it very well.
We have been together since during BCN, that is Broadcasting Company of Northern Nigeria, before it transformed into NTA and FRCN, respectively.
Upon retirement from public service, late Mahmoud Baba Ahmed continued active service in the first private broadcast media outfit in northern Nigeria, the Desmims Television Kaduna. Like his previous places of work, the deceased was able to introduce programs that give reputable image to the DITV till date, as well as his recent place of work, the Liberty Television and Radio Kaduna. Late Mahmoud Baba Ahmed died last Friday, leaving behind 7 children, grandchildren, and wife. He has since been buried amidst tears by relations, friends, and colleagues.
May his soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. And this is where we call it a night. Thanks for your company. As usual, we enjoyed hosting you. Let's do it again, same time next week. Stay on the line. Before I take a bow, I'll just talk to Ali Baba, who is standing by. He's going to be on air in a couple of minutes. How are you doing tonight?
I'm awesome, and I'm looking forward to having a wonderful time. Last week was a great time, and so this one will be greater.
Good.
Thank you.
For now, good night, and God bless Nigeria.